Diane Ernestine Ross is Diana Ross's birth name. American music and cultural icon Earl Ross was born on March 26, 1944, in Detroit, Michigan. His career has lasted for more than 60 years. Diana Ernestine. Earl Ross rose from obscurity to become a major musical force, despite having grown up in the Brewster Douglas housing projects. She initially gained fame as lead vocalist of the Supremes, the most popular group of the 1960s and a top-selling girl group in Motown Records history. The Supremes, who were mentored by Motown founder Berry Gordy, produced success after hit, including all-time greats like Where Did Our Love Go?, It's Enough, You Can't Rush, Love, Baby Love, In the Name of Love, and a few others. Diana Ross eventually went solo because, to her distinctive singing voice, mesmerizing stage presence, and impeccable taste. Diana Ross was already well known when she formally began her solo career in 1970, and her fame and fortunes only increased from there. With her first solo record, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, she proved she could sing anything, from pop and soul to R&B and even jazz and disco, and it became a smashing success. After that, she had a run of hit albums including Diana, Touch Me in the Morning, and The Boss. In the 1980s, Ross kept pushing himself creatively, releasing singles like Upside Down and I'm Coming Out, as well as the duet Endless Love with Lionel Richie, which went on to become a top-charting love ballad. She became a touring superstar, dominating arenas and stages all over the world, and her influence extended far beyond the realm of radio charts. Diana Ross was already a cultural icon before she made a strong move into cinema and television, adding to her already stellar career in music. An unusual occurrence for a former pop star turned actress, her portrayal of Billie Holiday in the 1972 movie Lady Sings the Blues garnered her a Best Actress nod from the Academy. After that, she appeared in the romance drama Mahogany, which took place in the fashion industry, and the remade African-American version of The Wizard of Oz, The Wiz, in which she co-starred with Michael Jackson as Dorothy. Not only did these parts highlight her acting chops, but they also solidified her position as a black woman overcoming obstacles in a male-dominated field. A lot of people look up to Diana Ross for reasons other than her acting and music. For many, particularly black American women, she represents strength, dignity, and perseverance. What it meant to be a black woman in entertainment was redefined by her daring wardrobe choices, composure under pressure, and determination to be treated with decency. The likes of Beyoncé, Janet Jackson, and Whitney Houston, all of whom have named Ross as an inspiration, owe a great debt to her for being an innovator who was not afraid to question established standards in the music business. The fact that she has been popular for almost 60 years is a testament to her brilliance, flexibility, and the profound connection she has formed with her many admirers. Diana Ross's long list of achievements includes being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame alongside the Supremes, receiving many Golden Globes, awards from the Kennedy Center, and a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, among many others. The Medal of Freedom was presented to her by President Obama in 2016. In appreciation of her achievements in the fields of art and American culture, she was bestowed with one of the nation's highest civilian honors. Ross has maintained her optimism, professionalism, and passion in the face of personal and professional obstacles, such as the pressures of celebrity, the ever-changing music industry, and the obligations of family life as a mother of 5. The spotlight has always been on Diana Ross, even in her twilight years. Her renowned charm and showmanship have inspired countless, and she keeps performing live, releasing new music, and captivating audiences. A love letter to her fans and a demonstration of her ongoing creative vigor. Her 2021 album, Thank You, prove that she is just as lively and alive as before. The emotional depth that has always characterized her craft is still present in her voice, which is both forceful and sensitive. The life of the iconic Motown singer Diana Ross has been filled with love, complicated relationships, and a strong commitment to family. She has 2 husbands and 5 children, all of whom have contributed to her unique character outside of show business. While still very famous with the Supremes, Ross began her personal relationship with Motown Records' prominent founder and CEO, Berry Gordy, in the mid-1960s. This was the beginning of her journey through love and parenthood. Their connection, which started in 1965 and lasted for years throughout a pivotal time in Ross's early solo career, was intensely personal and professionally focused. Strong and everlasting was the link that bound Ross and Gordy. Rhonda Suzanne Silberstein was born to her in 1971 as a result. Nevertheless, Rhonda's early existence was marked by a lack of transparency regarding her parentage. Ross made a defining choice in her life while she was pregnant. She wed music executive Robert Ellis Silberstein in January 1971, only 2 months into her pregnancy. Although Silberstein knew that Rhonda's biological father was Berry Gordy, he still raised Rhonda as his own daughter, showering her with unconditional love and support. Both Silberstein's kindness and Ross's strong desire to provide a secure and nurturing environment for her child were evident in this choice. Ross sat Rhonda down and told her the truth about her parentage when she was 13 years old, and that was a watershed moment in her coming to terms with her identity and family history. For a long time, Rhonda had affectionately referred to Berry Gordy as Uncle BB, and thought Silberstein was her biological father. Diana Ross had 2 more daughters when she was married to Robert Ellis Silberstein. In 1972, she gave birth to her second daughter, Tracy Ellis Ross, whose real name is Tracy Joy Silberstein. After working with Tracy on Girlfriends and Blackish, she went on to become a famous comic and actor in her own right. Her mother's artistic inheritance is evident in her knowledge, charisma, and talent. Chudney Lane Silberstein was born in 1975, making her Ross's 3rd daughter. Chudney is less well known than her siblings, but she has made a name for herself in children's literature and education, and she even runs her own event space and bookstore in Los Angeles. Despite leading a public life together for a while, Diana Ross and Silberstein's marriage ended in divorce in 1977. As co-parents to their 3 girls, the couple continued to preserve a spirit of mutual respect even after their marriage ended. Decades later, in 2023, iconic singer Smokey Robinson surprised everyone by revealing in an interview that he and Diana Ross had an affair in the early days of Motown. The affair lasted about a year. In addition to being Diana's close friend, Robinson's first wife, Claudette, was also married to him at the time. Ross was the one who broke off the engagement, says Robinson, upon admitting that Claudette was still the object of his feelings. Fans and media outlets were shocked by the news, but when asked for comment, Ross's rep declined, citing the singer's long-standing desire for seclusion. After a long separation, Ross discovered love again, this time on the other side of the world. She crossed paths with Arne Næss Jr., a Norwegian shipping entrepreneur, in 1985. An affable and prosperous entrepreneur who loves nothing more than a good adventure and summiting mountains. In a grandiose ceremony that united their 2 worlds, American prominence and European aristocracy, the couple was married the following year after falling madly in love. The marriage allowed Ross to become a stepmother to Katinka, Christopher, and Leona Næss, who were Næss's older children from a prior relationship, whose offspring would go on to have successful careers as folk pop singers and songwriters. Poured her heart and everything into her role as stepmother, creating enduring relationships with each of her 3 children. Ross Arne was born in 1987 to Ross and Ness, and Evan Olav was born in 1988 to them. Both boys have pursued artistic endeavors. Particularly noteworthy is Evan's rise to fame as a performer and composer. He has guest-starred on numerous TV shows and appeared in films such as ATL and The Hunger Games. Ross has been quite vocal about her children, praising them and describing how they have changed her life. There would be problems with her second marriage, though. Media claims that Ness had fathered a child with another woman in Norway, led to the couple's divorce in 2000 after years of marriage. The news caused emotional upheaval, but it did not decrease Ross's enduring affection for Ness. Ross has frequently called Ness the love of her life, even though they are no longer together, a sign of the strong bond they had. Regrettably, mountain climbing tragedy in South Africa in 2004 brought an abrupt and tragic end to the life of Arne Ness Jr. Tragically, Ness, a seasoned climber, fell off a cliff in Cape Town, crushing the hearts of his loved ones. Ross and their children were profoundly affected by the death. Even though a lot of time has passed, she still thinks of him fondly. Ross maintained strong relationships with his 3 children from a prior relationship even after he passed away, preserving the dynamic of a blended family while paying tribute to the common heritage they developed. Diana Ross, 81 years old and a great singer, actress, and former Supremes lead vocalist, has finally spoken up about her complicated and personal connection with Michael Jackson, the king of pop, after a long period of silence. Their relationship was mythologized by fans and analyzed by the media for decades, captivating the public and leading to suspicion. Although Ross was known for her reserved nature, strong sense of privacy, and unwavering devotion to her loved ones, she seldom discussed openly the deep emotional connection she had with Jackson. At long last, that has shifted. Ross recently gave an interview that was both intimate and honest about their relationship. She painted a picture of Michael as someone who was weak and sensitive on the inside, who needed guidance and unconditional love, rather than simply a musical superstar. Recalling their initial meeting, she reflected on Michael's 9 years old, when he was a brilliant prodigy introduced to her by Motown creator Berry Gordy. She had an innate feeling that the boy was special right from the start. His unparalleled skill was undeniable, but it was his unfiltered emotional intensity that gave him an air of maturity beyond his years. Ross became more than simply a famous figure in Michael's life, as she cared for and guided him throughout his early years with the Jackson 5. She had a nurturing presence, was reliable as a friend, and could have been the one and only person in the entertainment industry who understood him. Ross said that she recognized in him a mirror image of her own battles with self-discovery, public scrutiny, and the demands of celebrity from her youth. She was quite open about the moments they had behind the scenes when they confided in each other about the loneliness that comes with being a superstar and how no amount of praise can alleviate it. Ross was candid about the changes that occurred in their relationship as time went on. Their lives started to take different turns as Michael's star started to soar in the 80s, but they were still very much connected emotionally. During their one-on-one conversations at 3 in the morning, she recalled him gently sobbing and asking if she still loved him, not just as a celebrity, but as a person. She replied, her voice quivering with emotion, that he never ceased being the little boy who simply wanted someone to hold his hand. Behind the smile was a lot of pain for him. Ross praised Michael's creative brilliance and boundary-breaking ingenuity with a mix of pride and sadness, his dogged dedication to attaining greatness, and his exceptional work ethic. However, she was also forthright about the less pleasant aspects of his journey: the controversies, the media attention, his outward changes, and his deep emotional struggles, all of which, according to her, were invisible to anyone who wasn't intimately familiar with him. She refrained from passing judgment and instead showed profound empathy for the burden he bore. She maintained that Michael was unbroken. The man was stunning. Ross, who is nearing the end of her own extraordinary life, stated that she felt compelled to reveal this fact in order to humanize the youngster whose story the world transformed into a myth rather than to rectify the record. She said, with a stern but gentle tone, that he wasn't a specter, a news story, or a warning tale. There is no way to put into words how much I loved and cherished Michael. Diana Ross has done a great service to Michael Jackson's memory by letting the world see him through the eyes of someone who knew him well by revealing these long-guarded truths, not in his rock star guise, but as an innocent, wonderful human person whose impact on the lives of his loved ones is profound and everlasting. Her homage goes beyond mere revelation. It is a solace, a remembrance, and a demonstration of love that lasts. Believe there is a profoundly human tale waiting to be revealed beneath every myth and folklore. At the 2025 Met Gala, one of the world's most famous and esteemed fashion events, Diana Ross, a legendary music diva, made a breathtaking and much-acclaimed presence on May 5th. The Met Gala has a long history of providing a stage for some of the most influential people in the world to showcase their fashion sense and make a statement, thanks to its extravagant themes and celebrity-studded guest list. To everyone's delight, Ross delivered. As she strode down the red carpet of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Ross reminded the world of why she is still an icon of grace and style after 6 decades in show business. Ross shared a moving personal anecdote during red carpet interviews on why she came.